Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is Business Today and my name is Ronnah Nahabwe with Winnie Nakawuki on the sign language. But first, let's have a look at our first.
There is a problem in terms of accessibility of the poor people. You are talking about you are dealing with the poor people. I see the office that can serve the whole of Acholi sub-region is Lira, which is the nearest. But we have 9 different administrative units at the city and the district level.
This is not Kugabula. This is not Kasimo. This is not a political fund for everybody. This is money to transform the households in subsistence to the monetary economy. And therefore the circles have to be prepared. The commitment I've given, which I gave to Cabinet, is that
we have a very strong bond of relations with China, especially in what China is producing today and they are exporting to our country. So in terms of finished goods, intermediate goods and raw materials, we are cooperating very well. We're exporting some of our raw materials.
Begin with, Raphael Magezi, the Minister for Local Government, has declared that by the end of February 2023, all parishes will be eligible to receive parish development model funds. This follows the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Transportation that no parish development model cash will be released to those parishes that are not qualified.
The disbursement of the parish development model funds from parish circle accounts to beneficiaries kicked off nationwide in Kayunga district, where each parish is to receive 100 million each year. However, some parishes have missed out on this fund for failure to comply with all the criteria. This has prompted the Ministry of Finance not to release parish development model fund until this is sorted out. Raphael Magezi, the Minister for Local Government, has therefore declared that by the end of February 2023, all parishes and circles will be eligible to receive this money.
Because this is not Kugabula, this is not Kasimo, this is not a political fund for everybody. This is money to transform the households in subsistence to the monetary economy. And therefore the circles have to be prepared. The commitment I've given, which I gave to Cabinet, is that by the end of Feb, we'll do all it takes to make sure that all the circles are prepared to receive the fund.
Among the requirements is that every parish must have a parish development committee, PDC, and every circle must be registered with a bank account in order to qualify for the parish development model funding.
Put in place all of the mechanisms which we set up to ensure that this money is not misused. That's when they will access this money. For us, we don't mind. We shall get the money, send it to the account, and by the end of this financial year, each parish would have received 100 million shillings. But you can only access it as a parish, the beneficiaries, when you have fulfilled those conditions. Because remember, this money is mainly for production in Pillar 1. As you have already been told, this is not money for buying blankets and mattresses and so on.
So there should be no excuse. Thirdly, there should be a chairperson of the women council of that parish. It's not the woman councillor, it is the chairperson of the women council of the parish. There should also be the chairperson of the youth council of that parish. There should be the chairperson of the persons with the disability council of that parish, and then the chairperson of the elderly council of the parish, and lastly the chairperson NRM within the parish, because the parish model is an NRM manifesto commitment. So if we find in the parish that PDC has not been constituted, is not meeting, there is no record, then we say that parish is still lacking in terms of preparedness.
According to data from the Ministry of Finance, 264 billion has just been released to cater for parish development model, bringing the total release to 75% of the approved budget. for the PDM. However, our reporter caught up with some of the businessmen in Jinja town who seemed to be unaware of the program.
I have never received or even seen any money. We have done all what is required, but here in Jinja, they left us.
Much as some of the Ugandans are not aware of the program, the minister warned against misusing funds intended for the parish development. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Now, moving on, legislators have tasked Microfinance Support Center to move services closer to the people, especially those in villages, because many of the poor people cannot travel miles to access this money. These were in the Committee of Finance to present the budget framework paper for the financial year 2023-2024.
The majority of the poor people in this country, according to the legislators, are supported by Microfinance Support Center. However, because there are few of these offices nationwide, many individuals find it difficult to reach them.
I am thinking that there is a problem in terms of accessibility of the poor people. You are talking about you are dealing with the poor people. I see the office that can serve the whole of Acholi sub-region is Lira, which is the nearest. But we have 9 different administrative units at the city and the district level. It makes it very difficult for somebody who is in Namor to come to Lira when he or she wants services from you. At the same time, people from Karamoja to travel all the way maybe to Mbale or to Lira.
The committee has also noted that this entity's budget is underfunded despite its mandate to carry out a number of duties, including raising earnings of many locals and reviving numerous small businesses.
I am saddened by the fact that, looking at the report of the ED, we have only given them, been able to disburse 35 billion. That is a drop in the ocean. I would want to strongly appeal that if we are serious with what we are doing, all these monies that we get, and we cannot give MSC money and UDB money so that we can revitalize this economy, then we are not being serious. Therefore, these figures that we have actually been talking about, Mr. Chairman, I want to appeal to us and to the Minister that we have to revise these figures upwards. My only question to the ED would be, what is your absorptive capacity? What is it that you need to get our people moving?
The vote of this institution, microfinance, is very limited. Have you presented a proposal to Cabinet to borrow money from the climatic initiative and the FAO? Because this microfinance is what caters for 70% of our rural poor. We talk about UDB there. Who can reach there? Even the Honorable Minister, I don't know whether they have got money from UDB.
According to Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, microfinance support centers should stop lending money to larger firms, yet the major objective for their establishment was to meet the requirements of the small businesses.
I saw a small farm not small, that had received over 5 billion from my analysis of your record. I hope going forward, you are revising that and going back to what you are supposed to do, supporting small enterprises. The big firms can go to banks, can go to UDC, can go to UDB and get the money from there. Let microfinance stay true to its mission.
In response to the questions from the committee, the Minister for Microfinance, Honorable Haruna Kasolo, has assured that they would take into account all of the concerns raised, including opening more regional offices to reach out to more people and pay attention to the poor regions in all of their initiatives.
About regional offices, yes, I'm going to direct that, because I have ever done it. We created satellite offices in Iganga. I found only one zone office serving the entire Busoga, and that was in Jinja. So we created satellite office in Iganga. We created another one in Tungamo. We created another one in Kakumiro, and then another one in Kasese. There's also another one that Ngoma. So now we are going to create more 4 so that we can serve the northern part of the country, even Bukedi.
The executive director for Micro Support Center has also stressed out that the recovery process for the loans was affected by COVID pandemic, but they are positive that money will be recovered as the economy opens up.
Been a little bit low, but we think that one will pick up as the economy peaks. Then there was also areas of guidance. We have been guided that we go back and focus on the poor, and we take that guidance, and we avoid these big loans. We also alerted to the recycling. These same groups hunting for money all around. We'll pay attention to that in our work, and we're guided to pay attention to the to be guided by the poverty map.
The Committee of Finance has committed itself to helping support the Microfinance Support Center in lobbying for more funding in the next financial year. According to them, 35 billion shillings that was released in this financial year is only a drop in the ocean for a sector that supports almost 70% of the Ugandan population. Samlanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Thank you, Hanifa, for that report. Now, Uganda's economy is restoring growth beyond regional markets as current projections point at 6% come 2024. Challenges have been exploited, and now tourism and trade are areas to push for, as economies such as China are a crucial target to achieve sustainable development.
In the quest for sustainable development, many African nations are fighting to streamline domestic market policies with international standards to tap into established markets. The African Continental Free Trade and other international trade lines have exhibited such need, just as the push beyond subsistence production in different production sectors.
They are not innovative, they are not creative. They really need a very serious awakening for them to be able to do something. It's the population now to begin believing in themselves. That it's not only government to play a part. They have a very big part to play as individuals. And that's why we always talk about human capital development. The human being himself must have the capacity to produce, to decide what to do. Because as long as he does not remain stagnant, this country will grow. But if he chooses to remain stagnant, do nothing about his condition, this country will remain where it is. So we are heavily dependent on the behavior of our people.
Market pressure exerted from macroeconomic challenges such as inflation, demand, and supply shocks have extremely undermined the progress of the fragile African markets that are still finding space to compete favorably.
We have also taken into consideration the general economic outlook and the need to balance the objective of supporting economic recovery as well as service delivery with maintenance of macroeconomic stability and fiscal sustainability.
Uganda, being a net importer especially from one of the world's biggest economies, China, has fumbled to establish international market openings based on equity and demand obligations. This shall unfreeze international market limits such as quotas, tariff barriers, and offset domestic revenue deficits.
I think we have a very strong bond of relations with China, especially in what China is producing today and they are exporting to our country. So in terms of finished goods, intermediate goods, and raw materials, we are cooperating very well. We're exporting some of our raw materials to them, at the same time importing finished goods. But that is a situation that is gradually improving, where we are also beginning to add value on what we are producing.
Domestic business growth is a crucial component of national change, and it is crucial for broad market access to consider how much manufacturing fits into international market standards. Bronya Katsime, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
The $1.5 trillion budgeted for local governments for the fiscal year of 2022-2023 will be used by the Ministry of Local Government and the 7th Local Government Finance Commission All local projects will be financed with the help of budgeting and funding through supporting government initiatives aimed at enhancing rural communities. Let's have a report.
The primary goal of the 7th Local Government Committee will be to prioritize local government finances by increasing local revenue, handling negotiations for grants. Another essential component of financing local governments will be financial discipline, which aids in the management and utilization of funding given to the local governments.
I would expect the 7th Local Government Finance Commission to prioritize the issue of financing local governments from the two aspects. Aspect number one is from the grants. So the Commission is going to be tasked to study the national budget, to look at funds within the sector ministries, and identify funds which should or could be decentralized, devolved to the local governments, and advise government, and we shall take into account their study and their recommendation. Secondly, I would expect the Commission to prioritize local revenue of local governments. Now, we know that we've been talking about market dues, we've been talking about trade licenses, we've been talking about property taxes and so on. But studies indicate that indeed it's possible, with a bit of innovation, with a bit of digitalization, to actually upscale the local revenue of the local governments. So I want the Commission to look into this.
Government has launched a number of programs, including PDM and EMIOGA, to assist and finance local governments and combat poverty. Local governments will prosper more if they embrace agriculture, which is Uganda's economic engine, and gain more funding from domestic and international investors to assist their sustainability and expansion. The 1.5 trillion allocated to local governments will be a foundation for economic growth and sustainability in the next financial year.
Through the PDM, what we are doing is that we are, as government, central government, we are going direct to the lower local government, which is the parish. So in other words, we are actually reaching the household through the PDM. And we are investing a significant amount of resources there. And this is not money for people to eat, but it's money for people to invest in their various programs in the quest to eradicate poverty amongst themselves, i.e. in the field of agricultural production. They should be able to produce coffee better, they should be able to produce maize better, cassava, they should be able to produce it better, because now we are providing the financing capital for them to be able to do that.
According to Ministry of Finance, the 65.2% of the local government grant has been released this quarter to enable local governments implement projects timely. This money is to finance all local government initiatives and enable easy service delivery in all districts. Government has prioritized local government because it considers that majority of Ugandans are agriculturalists. Hence, these projects will boost the agricultural contribution to the economy. Martha Nimsima, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Let's now look at the inauguration of Kabale Central Market. Authorities for Ministry of Local Government and Kabale Municipality have started the process of relocating vendors to the newly process of the new constructed Kabale Central Market by raffle draws amid its heavy police and UPDF deployment. These vendors were shifted from temporary structures in Chigonji Kabale Police Barrack Market, where they have been working since 2019 as the construction of the 23 billion shillings market was underway.
According to the Assistant Programs Officer in charge of Community Development, Prositu Hirirwe, the relocation exercise will continue by raffle draws and is expected to climax on Friday this week. The process started with the vendors who deal in food stalls.
We are here in Kabale Central Market, allocating stalls. The market was built by Ministry of Local Government and handed over to Kabale Municipal Council. We are here for vendor resettlement, or vendors are getting their facilities back, because the principle was you move to a temporary reallocation site, after construction we come back to the developed market. So that's what we are doing today. We have started with stalls people. These are people who deal in agricultural produce like tomatoes, onions, cabbages, fruits and vegetables.
Tuhirire further adds that the market will be of immediate use after the vendors are relocated back to the new facility.
It is going to be of immediate use. As soon as we allocated the facility, we are putting a date. Probably tomorrow they will use the market.
Kabale Municipality Mayor, Senator Byamugisha, says that the market has a total capacity of 1,022 traders who will be tenants of Kabale Municipal Council at a payment of each paying 150,000 on the ground floor and 100,000 on the first floor for the lockups monthly. Senator adds that the trader will be given a grace period of 2 months without paying rent to the council as a way of allowing traders to fully settle in the new market. He also says that there will be a 3-month close supervision of traders to see if they're effectively using the stalls.
Into the market, they are not settled. They have not started business. So you have to give them that period to settle, such that they get organized. So there is a grace period of 2 months, and after 2 months, that's when the vendors shall start paying the rent.
Presiding over the opening of the market, the Kabale District Resident Commissioner, Godfrey Nyakahoma, asked the traders to cooperate with the authorities, saying that the main purpose of this market is aiming at the common person so that they can improve their household income.
Of the market is very, very well organized. The foodstuffs, the merchandise of our people is very secure because there is a police post within the market, and that one actually shows that the security of the area will be very well managed, including the fence you're seeing around. So there will be no any trespass of any kind.
Speaking to some of the vendors, they expressed their excitement to start using the new market after being in temporary poor structures for 3 years.
I thank God for giving me this stall number. I have been working hard for this and I finally received it.
The Kabale Central Market was constructed under the World Bank Funded Markets and Agriculture Trade Improvement Program. Nobat, Martha Nimsima, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Business Today will now take a short break, but we will return with more.